Hey, I didn't warn anybody, so I may not get anybody to watch. I just had to come on. We got all kinds of crazy stuff going on in politics, and there's still quite a bit of stuff going on in Kentucky right now too. Actually, it's kind of crazy around here too. I'll wait and see if anybody shows up. If not, I'll share it with y'all, and y'all can watch it later. I've been all day trying to get insurance for my new house. It's driving me crazy. I'm so sick of trying to drum up quotes for insurance. It sucks. Um, been a lot going on in Kentucky. We've got the governor Andy Bashir has done something very awesome. He banned conversion therapy on minors in the state of Kentucky. He had of course had to go through an executive order to get this done, because in my state people think that you can actually convert people out of being homosexual, you know, because I live in Kentucky where everybody's ignorant, most of us. And so that's good. That's torture, that's child abuse, and it's disgusting, and it causes all kinds of traumatic responses to it, and it's just a horrible, horrible thing to do to your children. And then he also has having with state legislature. Of course, it's a Democrat legislator. It has to be. We don't have very many of them anyway. But anyway, I've got some clips or some videos pulled up here. And then Mark Robinson, the lieutenant governor in North Carolina, who is actually the candidate on the for the GOP for governor of North Carolina. He is down in the polls quite a long ways. You may have remembered him. He's made comments about that the Democrats just need killing, and some comments about the LGBTQ community. He's just really, really, really gross. But he's even surpassed his own disgusting level last few days, or it's came out in the last few days. So we'll look at him too. Let's see. I think we'll go to Kentucky first. We'll go ahead and just stay in Kentucky right now. Okay, so here's Andy. He has banned the I gotta share this. He has banned conversion therapy on minors in the state of Kentucky. He's tried to get this passed through the state legislature, and the Republican-led legislature would not pass it. So he has overrode them, I guess, and put it in by executive order. Which is all right, pretty good. I think it's an awesome idea. And
children are children of God. And where practices are endangering and even harming those children, we must act.
Today, Kentucky Governor Andy Bashir made the sweeping effort to stop conversion therapy on kids in the state. But what does his executive order actually do? Conversion therapy is the practice of attempting to change a person's sexual orientation by using psychoanalysis and other methods. It's a widely discredited practice, but to truly make it illegal, the state legislature would have to act. Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton explain what this order means for Kentuckians.
A sweeping move many years in the making. Governor Andy Bashir signing an executive order he hopes will put a stop to conversion therapy on people under 18 years old in Kentucky.
It is a practice that is causing them to take their own lives. That means it's something we should not do and cannot allow to happen.
Legislation has been filed. It's been rejected by the people's representatives.
But the signing in the Capitol Rotunda didn't come without opposition, mixed in with cheers. sitting in the audience watching an emotional Dustin Rayburn of Louisville, who went through conversion therapy when they were younger. Was there something? Was there someone you were thinking
about? I was just thinking that this isn't going to happen anymore. Like, this is the first step to protect our youth. And if I could just go back and tell my younger self that, we'd be sitting here today. This would stop. It's just a crazy full circle moment.
The Trevor Project, a suicide prevention nonprofit, reports 1 out of 5 kids in Kentucky are exposed to the widely discredited practice.
We're the law-making body. He is not. We make laws.
Bashir's executive order is not a ban on.
So you can see that, that lawmaker right there has no concern about any suicide rates or whatever. We're the boss here, and he's not. And da-da-da-da-da. That's all they do around here. That's all they're good for. They're just, I don't know who he is. I live next door to my representative. I kind of feel like she probably is not for conversion therapy. But the best part of this story that I know of to tell you is that I got this on YouTube on my feed. And so I go and APC, I go and look in the comment section. And okay, it just says Kentucky governor bans conversion therapy. Thankfully for the kids in Kentucky, of course, everybody on there is just praising the governor, but sort of shocked, but praising him for this protection of our children. And I did too, actually, but I knew what it was. And these people think that he has banned gender affirming care. Most of them. That's what they think. And they're just thrilled about it. And they're just bragging on him, taking care of the kids. And I didn't tell them no different, because I really don't think that the kids need to know. Oh, I'm so sorry, Star Song. Hey, Harris has put in her thing about taking medical debt off of your credit scores. So if she gets in there, then that may not be against your credit score anymore. And I'm so glad you're with us. And but I'm so glad that they've banned that Andy's done something, and they'll fight against this, because they, you heard 1 in 5 Kentucky children go through this conversion therapy. That is ridiculous. I mean, this is something that just makes me sick. It's so backwards here where I live. So backwards, these people. But anyway, right now they think that they are convinced that Andy has done something good, which he did do something good. Unfortunately, they would not think that. But I did not correct them in the chat, in the comment section. I loved it. There was a few people in there that put it on and said, these people don't even know what it is. And I was like, I know. Hey, Pinworm, I've been wondering where you were. Our governor banned conversion therapy. So everybody, Andy did good. Andy did wonderful. He is a good man. We also had some more things going on in Kentucky. It's kind of crazy around here lately. Oh no. Oh. Phew. I bet. Star Song, I'm so glad you're still with us. Yeah, we celebrate Andy. Cheers, Andy. You may be the only good Kentucky legislator we ever have. You know what I mean? They want to control everything here. Okay, now let's watch this. This has just happened too, I think. Or no, this has happened. There's two more about Kentucky. I don't know which one I'm going to show. Let me see. Okay, this just happened, I think. And this was a state representative is accused of
Daniel
sexual
Grossberg
assault.
to resign. Now, Grossberg, a Louisville Democrat, is accused of sexual harassment and misconduct in an ethics complaint. Grossberg has denied any wrongdoing.
His attorney issued this statement. Representative Grossberg intends to continue to serve his constituents and looks forward to an opportunity to rebut the false or exaggerated allegations made in the ethics complaint as well as in the media. He continues to apologize sincerely to anyone who felt harmed or victimized and is working hard to do the best he can at the job he was elected to do. Bashir noted that multiple women have now come forward with allegations.
Okay, that's bad news for that guy right there, because Andy is honest. And look, Andy is trying to actually, get him to resign, because Andy is very ethical. And I don't think he probably knows some of the details of these cases. Obviously, he thinks this guy's guilty. I mean, Andy keeps his nose clean, and and I understand what he's saying. Right now it's real hard to compete with the GOP though on going low on things doing. Anyways, we got that, and then let's see. I've got all these clips pulled up. I know. Okay, now we got one more Kentucky one. This one is kind of really way out there. One of our sheriffs went into the judge's chamber at a courthouse and shot the judge and killed him.
Judge was fatally shot in his chambers, allegedly by the county sheriff. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm John Jenko. Kentucky State Police say that happened in the Letcher County Courthouse in Whitesburg yesterday. Investigators report that 54-year-old district judge Kevin Mullins was shot after an argument inside the courthouse. State police say the 43-year-old Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins was the shooter. He is in custody, charged with first-degree murder. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel is live from Kentucky, where that investigation is ongoing. Ansley, what's the latest information to come out of this case?
Well, John, we've been here in Whitesburg all morning, and it is pretty quiet in this small mountain town. However, what happened inside of this closed courthouse yesterday is certainly the talk of the town. Now, those new allegations absolutely just came into our newsroom, so we're still digesting those ourselves, and I'm sure the folks around here are doing the same. Now, that federal lawsuit was filed Monday, and it alleges that a Letcher County Sheriff's deputy repeatedly sexually abused a woman in those very same chambers. Now, that woman claims that the former deputy, named as Ben Fields, forced her to have sexual relations for 6 months in exchange for staying out of jail. Now, Fields did plead guilty to raping the prisoner while she was on home arrest. He was sentenced to jail on charges of rape, sodomy, perjury, and tampering with evidence. But the lawsuit accuses the sheriff, Sean Mickey Steins, of deliberate indifference and failing to adequately train and supervise Fields. Now, Steins is being held in the Leslie County Jail. It's unclear when or where he will appear in court, and it's also unclear when this courthouse will reopen. Live in Whitesburg, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Wow. That is just crazy. Okay, so yeah, Mike Johnson's the current speaker. Yeah, this was like the Kentucky representatives or whatever, like this, our state ones. But that, okay, the deputy was sexually abusing or sexually assaulting this woman in the judge's chambers. I don't know how. I mean, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Okay. So apparently, the affidavit says that the sheriff knew that this was going on and allowed it. And I'd say that argument probably broke out over that because the sheriff is named in that lawsuit. And so he is now in even more trouble because he shot and killed the judge. That's pretty sad. Political violence, I mean, just crazy, but county sheriffs, people don't realize that the origin of county sheriffs are kind of on violence anyway. They were, they kind of came up under the Reconstruction period and things. And there's a lot of them that are not adhering to the law. They have their law in their little county, and that's what they think their law is. It's really, sort of like Roscoe P. Coltrane. Yes, sheriffs are elected. Yes, they are. And I love our sheriff here. We have the best sheriff. I graduated high school with him. He went into the Army after graduation, and he got injured, and he came out with honorable discharge for the injury and stuff. And he became a state trooper. He was a state trooper he retired from the state trooper. He was a detective and everything when he retired, and he's a good friend of mine, and he is a good man, and he's a fair man. And we had a very corrupt sheriff here before him, and I appreciate him all the time. I think he may be planning to retire next time his up. But yeah, Andy Taylor was a good sheriff. Yes, he was. Norman is about the same. Norman is Norman is always doing stuff that, like, he's always raising stuff. They do the shop with the cop. But like, we had a family here that needed a vehicle to transport somebody for cancer, cancer treatments and stuff. And he oversees those kind of things. He oversees a bunch of those kind of like bringing. We've raised money. We've raised dog food and cat food and stuff and litter and sent it to, to like people during hurricanes and stuff. And he's always the one that does that. And last week we were like other schools. We had 2 bomb threats that were called in by students of our school. And he took it very serious. And my youngest daughter and his youngest daughter actually both graduated this past, this spring. And so, both of us, neither one of us have a child in the school right now, but still. And that's cool. But yeah, he's a good man, and he's our sheriff. And I do vote for him. That's why actually he's the reason I'm a registered Republican, because he is a Republican. And there are people who run against him on the Republican side, just nobody in the Democrat side. And if it comes down to, Norman or somebody else running for sheriff, I want to be able to vote for Norman and keep my vote with him. And so that's one of the reasons I remain a Republican, because there is no, there is no Democrat candidate here for anything ever, hardly ever. Okay, let's see what we got now. Who did I watch? Okay, we got all the Kentucky. I think we got all the Kentucky done. Okay, Now, I'm going to go do the Nebraska thing first, and then we'll go to Mark Robinson. In Nebraska, Nebraska has 5 electoral college votes. Currently, they split them up. I'm not sure. I think maybe 2 and 3. Like Omaha and stuff like that. Anyway, the cities tend to go blue and the Aurora is red. And so they split them up in Nebraska. That's one of the few states, I think Maine may be the other states where they do this. Lindsey Graham has been out there trying to talk the Nebraska State Assembly into actually change.
Well, Nebraska too. The Nebraska 2nd District has 1 electoral vote, and that area, that blue dot, if you will, is a very more traditionally Democratic voting section of a very red state. But that 1 electoral vote is part of one of the paths to 270 on the electoral map for the Harris campaign. And if it is a close race, and then we do see in the polling data that we've seen this week in these key battleground states, it could, I want to emphasize could, come down to 1 electoral vote. Therefore, by changing that, by eradicating, if you will, that 1 blue dot, that 1 electoral vote, it gives the Republicans and Trump an advantage on that map. So that's why there's been such an interest by Trump allies. That's why we've seen Senator Graham, who is an advisor to the former president, go down there. And I think that that's something that we need to watch, because if that changes, it does it's a little bit like Jenga in terms of the strategic map for Democrats.
Whoa, that is just some straight up dirty shit. I'll tell you what, there is no bottom of what the things they will do. Change it right now, right here, a month before the election. A month. I'm so sick of Republicans. I really am. I'm so sick of the GOP. I am. I mean, just your everyday average Republican voter is usually bad enough. But these people who they elect are the most corrupt and cheatingest, lyingest people around. I mean, it's like they will do anything. They will make up shit. They will fucking go and change the damn shit before a month before the election. Anything to win. That's all that matters. Hello, trees. And okay. Now let's see. Now let's go cover Mr. Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson is the lieutenant governor in the state of North Carolina. He is currently the GOP candidate for governor. He is not expected to win. He is far behind in the polls because he's a nut. He's a very disgusting person. He's been like this for a long time. He's not a new face. He has made very derogatory comments about the LGBTQ people, calling them filth is one of the words he used one time. And he also has mentioned that he thought that Democrats or liberals needed killing. Now, he is CNN has done a report and found that he was frequenting a pornographic chat room in which he was talking politics. And so he has made comments, and they've traced like this username to other accounts of his. So, they're pretty sure this. Of course, he denies all of it, but he's lying like always. But he referred to himself as a black Nazi. That's what he said. He was a black Nazi. And he said that he thought we should bring back slavery. And in fact, if we did, he would probably own him a couple himself. I think maybe he has never looked in the mirror. I guess he does know he's black because he called himself Black Nazi. But you know, I mean, why does he think that he would? Why does he think that he would be? I don't know. I don't understand it. Trump called him. Trump told the story. He on the plane with him one time. He called him Martin Luther King on steroids. And he said, Trump himself said that he did not think that Mark Robinson was very happy with him for making that comment. And later on, Robinson made some very disparaging comments about Martin Luther King that I will not even reference here. But just know that, no, he did not appreciate being compared to Martin Luther King. He has no respect for Martin Luther King. I don't know what's wrong with this person. But anyway, and now they've got witnesses that are you know, affirming that he used to come to the adult store in his town at least 3 to 5 days a week. He would come in there. He would bring an extra large pizza and go into the back room and watches whatever he did back there. They said he was especially fond of transgender porn. Is anybody here surprised? I mean, really, he probably has an OnlyFans thing too. I'd say they haven't come up with that yet, but I'd say if they look very hard, they will. But anyway, he's just a really, really, really great example of family values in the GOP. I think he's great. You know, he was losing it already anyway. He's way behind in the polls for governor. But will his demise because he's refusing to drop out of the race, which I'm not even sure if he can. The ballots have already started being mailed in North Carolina, so I don't even think they could replace him. All they could do is him step down, and there would only be the Democratic candidate on there, and I guess people could write somebody else in, but he refuses to do that. And I haven't heard exactly what Trump is, but Trump loves him up until this moment right here. Trump loves him. Trump said he was like a fine wine. And in one of these videos, Mark actually refers to himself like he's Clarence Thomas. When you think that party can't get any crazier than they already were, watch out. Look, they'll say, hold my beer. And here comes Mark. Anyway, let's see what he's pretty gross. But look at one of his things here. Okay, this is the one where he compares himself to Clarence Thomas. This is a short, so.
I said
no, I didn't.
Well, guys, the news media is at it again. My opponent is at it again. You all have seen the half-truths and outright lies of Josh Stein on these ads over and over again. And now a story leaked by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson. You know my words, you know my character, and you know that I have been completely transparent in this race and before. Folks, this race right now, our opponents are desperate to shift the focus here from the substantive issues and focus on what you are concerned with to salacious tabloid trash. We cannot allow that to happen. And folks, we've seen this type of stuff in the past as well. Clarence Thomas famously once said he was the victim of a high-tech lynching. Well, it looks like Mark Robinson is too, by a man who refuses to stand on stage and debate me about the real issues that face you. Well, guys, the news media is at it again. My opponent is at it again.
Lord. He is Clarence Thomas. Oh Lord. They don't know either. They just go around patting themselves on the back. He probably does own us on this one. I think maybe that like that's the best story so far. I don't even think I don't know. I mean, it just keeps coming out like all the stuff he said. Like they've got all these comments that he makes, and yeah, the pizza story where he goes. Yeah, he's losing the polls. Yeah, he is. He's losing. And so Stein did not put this story out. No, Stein has no reason to make up a smear story as disgustingly, way out there as this is. There's no reason to, because people already knew that Mark was gross. Hello, Al. And so the thing that to think that he would, I mean, just it can't be true. Everybody else all making up stuff about me, just like Trump. I mean, Trump loves him. Trump thinks he's great. I don't know what he thinks about him right now. He probably isn't too happy with him but I mean, really, him and Trump like fit together like peas and carrots. Oh, anyway, all right, we'll go watch that. Let's see. I think that other one says what he did. It's he's so silly. Okay.
Particulars. We certainly learned some new language and unfortunately some images yesterday. But all of this was not just predictable, it was predicted. I wrote for CNN in March, this guy is a disaster. Republicans, you shouldn't do this. And the irony here is, for months I've been hearing from Republicans in the state, Trump supporters, that they were nervous that Mark Robinson could have an impact, a negative one, of a ballot. Obviously, Donald Trump endorsed his candidate, so he made some of his own problems here. It's a very real concern. And I'll tell you, no one's smart enough to know if this is going to hurt Trump up ballot, but that concern is real. And while I was on my way up here last night, I got a text message from...
I love it. No one's smart enough. That's a very true statement.
Somebody down ballot who's running statewide who said, I think I'm toast.
Yikes. Okay. Wow. So you just broke down that this could have an impact on the president's race, because in North Carolina, our CBS Battleground Tracker shows that former President Trump and Kamala Harris are tied right now. But you do believe that this could be crucial.
Absolutely. This state has been in play for a long time. It's been very close.
I really don't even know how that is happening. And the GOP is trying to take care of this though. I saw today also, Bart Ehrman is a professor at UNC Chapel Hill. That's where he's a professor at. They are suing the North Carolina state of North Carolina GOP is to stop students at the UNC Chapel Hill from voting. So they're gonna, since they get saddled with Mr. Mark right here, and like I said, it's not about him being governor, because he is so far behind. I mean, I hate to say that he can't win, but I don't know what Stein would have to do. He would really have to be just like, I don't know, he'd have to be something really gross before he would end up getting beat by this guy.
Close since Barack Obama won it in 2008. It was close when he lost it. It was close when Trump won it the first time, and then the second time in 2020. It's a perennial in-play state now, but clearly this is neck and neck. Kamala Harris has been able to really garner some enthusiasm, especially with young voters, especially with HBCU voters. And so if you think about like Durham County.
And she has done several rallies down there. She's been to Raleigh, I think. I mean, she's done like three or four at least big rallies in North Carolina. Ashland, I can't remember all of them, but she's been down there several times. So she has been putting it in play. And Florida may be in play too. A lot because of the abortion initiative that's on the ballot. But the villages in Florida has turned blue, from what I hear, which is one of the big retirement living areas, and that's a big deal.
And young voters, you usually think Duke. Now, I'm a Tar Heel. I never want to think about Duke, but North Carolina Central, the HBCU in Durham County, that's a turnout machine. And Kamala Harris has done very smart and very well.
Right about that
So
demo.
if you had 30 seconds with the president, what would you advise him to do?
Well, one, I'd say you shouldn't have done this to begin with. Two,
the president, Biden, I mean, I'm assuming that they are talking about Trump. But guess what? Here's the good news. Trump is nobody's fucking president. That's what I like. That's
cut
what I
this
love.
guy loose. You have your own priorities, and we know Donald Trump is a selfish politician. Most politicians are. So he has to focus on his win. Mark Robinson only gets in the way. And lastly, I'd say the state GOP headquarters is on Hillsborough Street in Raleigh. I first went in there in 1992. I've seen good NC GOPs. I've seen bad ones. Their statement last night was terrible and shows that they've got problems and they don't fully realize how to fix them, if they're fixable.
We'll be watching this one closely, Doug. Thank you.
Let me just say, I wanted to, but I didn't use any words that rhyme with truck. But those are my thoughts and the thoughts of a lot of Republicans in North Carolina.
Wow. Hey.
Well, you didn't tell me what that means. Just when you think that they can't, they can't get any worse, there they go. There they are. Yes, manufacturing jobs. No. But now, we did have the Teamsters. Okay, the UAW has endorsed Trump. The Teamsters, okay, the leader of the Teamsters, the president, he did send out letters to the DNC and the RNC. And the RNC sent him a letter back. The DNC did not. Stupid move. Very stupid move. The DNC, for some reason, thinks that they have union and black people in the pocket. Okay. And they make the mistake of thinking that way and treating people. And so I'm assuming that that's why they didn't get back, or maybe they were mad because they were like, but you cannot blame people for getting out and, saying, hey, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? I mean, they already know that he's not going to, but it don't hurt to, push around. And so the Teamster president, he spoke at the RNC, but he did not get invited to the DNC. He came out this week and said that the Teamsters would not endorse either candidate, which is what it amounts to is there's a lot of Teamsters who are Trump supporters. And even though the union and the union leader know that her policies will be better for the economy and the union, and because Trump weakened unions in his last term, he's scared to go out and use the union and endorse her, is what I think, and go against that many of his members. But it's hard to believe anybody doesn't get this. I mean, I don't even know. I try to think, could the Republicans ever find a worse candidate to run? I don't know. I don't know that they could. I mean, I think they could dredge up just about the lowest life person they could find. And still, it would, because Trump has not one redeeming quality. Nothing. Some of them do. Some of them back Kamala, and some of them back Trump. But the Teamsters, as a group, as a union, as said they would not be endorsing either candidate. See, like UAW, the United Auto Workers, they're which is the one that Biden went and walked the picket line on. you know, they came out for her, but but I heard the reason why the Teamsters are not is because there's so many other members that support Trump. So at least he didn't support Trump. At least he didn't, because we did have the police, you know, the order of police, and you know, fraternal order of police. That's what I'm trying to think of. Came out and endorsed Trump. Is that not, you know, fraternal order of police? I mean, the people who are supposed to make sure the rule of law is followed, and it's just crazy. I mean, just they're backing him. Well, the Teamsters are truckers. I remember I used to go to Hunts Point Market in New York City and take produce there. And at that time, the Teamsters that went there were dock workers. Well, they were dock workers, but there were truckers too. And I liked them, actually. They called me Caneyville. They wanted to know if everybody in Kentucky talked like me. And I told them, no, I sound like a hick down there too. And yes, but well, look, P-Mar, you're from up there. So they had big signs all over the dock. They let me come up on the dock too, which is something that not most people didn't get to do. But they would have me come up there, and they also made sure that I was protected from the time I entered that city. I was protected. I know. I mean, they told me that. You know, what I mean, people knew not to get on my truck, not to jump my truck, or they would suffer from it. You know what I mean? And so I was a lot safer once the Teamsters kind of took me under their wing. But they had these Hoffa signs all over the walls, and I was like, I thought that guy was dead. But of course, it was his son. It was funny. I always thought it was so funny that, yeah. They thought it was funny that I didn't know that too. But they did protect my truck come in. You know what I mean? Because actually we would drive in most of the time at night, and we would actually never stop at stop signs or nothing. I only have 100 Star Song. I only have 100 and something, maybe 105. And I just got them this week, like last week. So no, I'm not monetized. And no, but you just keep your money. You keep your money. You save your money. But anyway, so that's what I was talking about. So anyway, it's kind of disappointing that the Teamsters didn't support her, but at least they didn't support Trump too. So, you know, I mean, that's good. I mean, you know, if you can't support Trump, he's just doing it to appease his members because he didn't, you know, I guess it makes sense. If you say the Teamsters are supporting her, then that kind of insinuates that Beamsy, that kind of insinuates that the members are going to vote for her, and that's not the way. I don't think that's the way it is. I think that you know, I don't know how the split is. I don't know too many Teamsters at this moment, but it's it'd be nice if they all were, but I don't know. You know, there's a lot of dumb people in the United States. There's a lot of people that everybody understand pinworm. I had to do that about the same thing. I kept a couple, but I couldn't. I had to get rid of a few myself. Don't understand. But there's a lot of people in this country that don't seem to be. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with them. They think that tariffs. They've suddenly decided that tariffs are good, and any basic 101 economics, tariffs have never been good. I mean, tariffs are useful in some instances, but they're very tricky, and they're very they create a lot of problems when they're, because they, first of all, the country that you impose the tariffs against will often retaliate with tariffs too. So then you just go into like a pricing war, tariff war. But Trump implemented these on our soybeans last time when he was in office, and he about destroyed our soybean farmers, our smaller ones especially. You know, the big ones probably got bailed out, but the smaller ones, the family farm, you know, that, I mean, they might have several acres of farm, but they're not like a corporation with lawyers and stuff. But they yeah, two ways tariff. No, they don't understand it. I mean, there's tariffs work pretty much the same way, but sometimes, I mean, there are times when they're necessary. You know what I mean? When you've got like when you've got a big trade deficit between a country, and it encourages manufacturers at home to manufacture stuff here instead of, you know, bringing it in. But it also it kind of has to be done in a sort of planned manner instead of just slap. I mean, Trump changes the percentage even all the time. I mean, he goes up to like 60%, and he keeps saying, and China will pay for these, and that's just so not true. That's just not true. China doesn't pay shit. The people that order the stuff will get charged for ordering it, and then it'll go to the person that retails it, and they'll pass that higher charge on to the consumer. And that's just what's going to happen. So everything, like my family size and everything, is predicted to cause a $4,000 increase in just, if I bought the same goods next year that I did this year, and he wins, there should be it'll average $4,000 more for me. They actually affect lower income families more than they do higher incomes, because they have the capital to avoid the tariffs in a way. It's like kind of, but y'all probably know how it goes better than I anyway. But they're not a good idea. They're not a good idea. That's the only policy he has. You know, he doesn't. He's I mean, it's like deport millions. Deport. He's saying 25 million now, which means that, you know, the immigration office predicts that there's like 12.5, 13 million undocumented people in America, and not all of them are here. And I know, I mean, a lot of them are people who are here that are working, and they have very low crime rates. We know that's a lie about the high crime. These people have the lowest crime rate. I mean, their crime rate is almost non-existent, because they're already here trying to stay under the radar. So doing crime would not be a real smart move on their part. And so he's going to deport, but he says 25. Okay, if you be generous and say 15 anyway. Let's just say that 15. That's 10 million more people. So if he's planning on deporting 25 million, 10 million of them are going to be American citizens that he just don't like the skin color they've got or something, or the language they're speaking or something. I mean, you know, they could be American citizens. I mean, it's just crazy what they're doing. I mean, and what would you do? What would you do if Project 2025 is enacted and Trump is in charge of the DOJ and the FBI and the CIA? There's nothing you could do. They could just set you out of the country and you could be a citizen and there ain't a damn thing you could do about it. A damn thing. And nobody would care. It's crazy. It's crazy. Trump added, I mean, he gave his buddies tax cut. He added $8 trillion to almost $8 trillion to our national debt last time. And I think that his main goal, if he gets reelected, is to double that. So nobody wants these tariffs. I mean, even the like the major Wall Street, companies and stuff like that. I mean, we're having like record-breaking stock market days right now, and I know that doesn't trickle down to like common people, but that does show. Like right now, the market, people in the market are feeling very strong about the economy. They are, even though they like their tax cuts that Trump gives them. They like the economy to be good too, because guess what? If the economy sucks, it sucks for them too, and they like making a lot of money. And if the economy sucks, they're not making a lot of money. And it's predicted that we could go in, Goldman Sachs says that there's like a pretty good chance actually that we will be into a regression with next year. Because if he wins and enacts this stuff, yeah, that's cruel. Was that who was the president when that happened? Star Song, was it Obama? Because a lot of people don't really realize this, but Obama deported more people than Trump did. Like Obama deported shit out of them. I actually seen a story where there was a man, his wife, and I think they had 3 or 4 kids. They lived in Ohio. She went out one day while her husband was at work. They were all, their kids were in school and everything, but they were undocumented, him and her both. Okay, Trump. Okay. Well, good. I mean, not good, but I'm glad it wasn't Obama. But there was, the lady got into an accident, a car accident. Okay. And she never got to come back home. She never got to come back home. They arrested her and sent her to this one of those border prison things down there, and ended up deporting her. And her kids and her husband are right here. And she had done nothing wrong. She did not, she hadn't committed a crime. She just got into a fender bender. And I don't know what's happened since then. I mean, I remember that was just a really heart-grabbing story, because those children, and the poor man, he's got this woman, this wife here that he needs there to take care of the kids so he can work, and they deported her. It was a really bad situation. I cannot believe that anybody would look at that individual situation and say that, we should deport her, but leave them here. Because the children were all born here, I think. So they're all citizens, I guess, right now. But Trump wants to change that too. Obama deported more and killed more foreign nationals. I haven't added up, but yeah, I'd say you probably agree. I mean, Obama was cleaning up a lot of the mess, the terrorist mess. He did get Osama bin Laden, which, you know, was a good day for America. Yeah, but I think he did a lot of drone kills. I'd say Trump probably did more drone kills than he admits. And but I don't know. It's hard for him to keep his mouth shut about anything. Actually, he'd be like, "It was the best drone kill. We got the most kills." So I probably need to take that back, because he would be bragging about being the highest number if he had had the highest number. That would be right up there with his high IQ. Nice time you got arrested. Beamsy. Quit getting arrested. I've been wondering where you are, Beamsy. I've been missing you, been looking for you. Hadn't seen you for a while. I don't know. Did you go on like one of those some kind of like spiritual journey or something? What would you do? I don't know where you went. I did miss you while you were gone. I noticed you were gone. Yes, I did. And Sanji, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Well, I think it seemed like there was something else that I thought about when I was talking a minute ago about, but I don't remember what it was. So I guess it's about done. Well, was dealing with a blue-haired psycho. Oh, took your bagpipes. Really? Wow. Why would anybody steal bagpipes? I mean, I don't think I could probably make a sound. I think they're hard to play, right? Yeah, I think they're hard to play. Sitting in the bushes. Yeah, they are like our little man with the little gun. I mean, lucky us, you know, people get jarred up and want to assassinate the former president, and incompetence rules. It's just all over. I mean, you know, they can't. One of them can't shoot. He shoots and kills an innocent father, and husband and firefighter. I mean, a good, you know, other than the fact that he was a MAGA, but you know, his daughters loved him. His wife loved him. He was a firefighter, which means he served his community, you know, in his work. And in any other world other than this Trump world, we would all have been neighbors with him. You know, we wouldn't care what party he was. And this poor man, you know, he jumped on his family when he heard the shots. Oh Lord. Oh, Beamsy. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I asked. Okay. All right. No. I mean, okay. I'm not. I love Tsunami. So, but I mean, I'm not. You know, you have your own opinions or whatever, and you know, I'm sorry I brought it up. I did not know all this. See, they have not been talking about you because they didn't tell me all this, but yeah, but I'm not in on that. But I just want to comment no more on that. Okay. But I love you, Beamsy. And I'm sorry that all that. I did not know all that. I'm sorry I brought it up. And Yeah. I know. I asked. Yes, you did. I did. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up for me. It is what it is. You're right. It is what it is. That is correct. I never do seem like it is. It is. That's just about like Trump is what he is. But so many people don't understand. I mean, they're totally convinced that Biden is the corrupt one, and that Kamala is. Let's see, word salad's all I hear about. You can tell they all get all their stuff. I've noticed they all make the same points. Her everything she says is word salad to them. Okay, I'm not even sure that this was a term that these people knew before this. I mean, because we say word salad to theists all the time, but I had never heard a Republican use the word until recently. So somehow Fox got a hold of our word salad stuff, and that's what. So now they've got word salad. So now they use it like everything. Everything is word salad. Everything Kamala says is word salad. Everything. I did watch the. I did watch the Oprah and Kamala little thing where they did the live stream. It was really good. I liked it. It was really good. They had a woman on there that they had the girl on there that from Kentucky, the one that her stepfather assaulted her and sexually assaulted her and when she was 12 years old and got her pregnant, and she had to get an abortion. And they had, because they actually made a commercial with her. They also had Amber Thurman's mom on too. If you don't know about her, she was a 28-year-old woman in Georgia. She already had a 6-year-old child, and she got pregnant, and she was getting ready to start college, and she had just got an apartment, and she found out she was pregnant with twins, and she decided to get an abortion because she couldn't, her son was getting ready, he was going to school, and she couldn't do it. She knew that it was just going to set her back. So she drove out of state because of the abortion bans that are down there out of Georgia. She drove out of state. I think she went to Louisiana, or Virginia or North Carolina. I can't say. Maybe North Carolina. Anyway, she drove to another state and she missed her appointment for the abortion when she got to the thing. Well, she would have had to stay like another couple of days, and so they gave her medication to take, for an abortion, which are really, really safe most of the time. But there are sometimes complications, and her body did not completely dispel the tissue of the fetuses. Maybe because there was twins in there. Maybe it was because there was two. I don't know. So anyway, she started getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and she went to the emergency room, and they figured out that she had sepsis. She told them that she had took the abortion. Okay, so there was no fetus left. The fetus was dead. There was some extra tissue left. That's all it was. So, that this was not even going to be this was a DNC is what it is. It's called. It's DNC. And on most abortions, it's necessary to do that. Even a lot of spontaneous abortions. They left her because of the law and the fear of being prosecuted. If they did any kind of, procedure, they left her in the emergency room for 20 hours, suffering from sepsis. They finally decided to do surgery and take her into surgery because her organs were failing, her kidneys were failing, her heart rate was ridiculously high. Her mom was on live stream. Her mom said she grabbed her hand and she said, "Promise me that you'll take care of my baby." And then she died in surgery. And I can't hardly talk about this without getting upset. This is what the Republicans will do. They will let us die. They will let women die. And you know what? They think she deserves it because she had already went and got the abortion. And so this was God's way of making her pay for that, I guess, is what they said. This is what I heard last night. Amber Thurman, yes. And I've never wanted to hurt somebody so bad as the person that I saw that wrote that. I mean, the mother, it was just so heartbreaking. The mother's brokenhearted. The 6-year-old boy has lost his mom, and she lost her life, and none of it should have happened. It was all preventable. It was preventable. And it's sad. It's so sad. It makes me so mad, but it shows, and this happened in 2022, but it took this long for the investigation and everything to come out, and they actually went and had to convince the mother to let them tell her, because they really didn't have all these details. Mother didn't, like, at the time that this was, they just didn't know that they could have prevented her from dying, and that she had been left there suffering that long. It's terrible. And on that live stream, they also had some of the survivors from the last school shooting too. And that was pretty heart-wrenching too. And the mothers. Like her daughter was at the school, and she took, she didn't know she was all right and everything, and she talks about what it was like fearing for her. And then some of them didn't. Some of them did lose their kids, and 2 teachers, two students and 2 teachers. Or so it's just heartbreaking, and I can blame them for that too. So get out and vote. Make sure you get out and vote. I think everybody here will be anyway, except Beamsy. I wish I could, get you to vote. Yeah, but I can't. I would send you about no. Actually, Trump told his supporters 2 days ago to vote twice, to mail in a ballot and then go in and vote in person. He actually said that in a rally, told them to do that. And you wait. Some of the dummies will try it, and I hope they enjoy their little box they live in for a while after that. I put on my Facebook, I said, for all my Trump fans, in case you didn't know, do not vote twice. It's illegal. You know what I mean? You will get caught, and you will go to jail over that. So do not. Even though Trump said to vote twice, do not vote twice. They won't let you anyway. I mean, really, our elections are not. They're very, very stuff. They're very secure. Actually, there's like so many steps and checks and balances and stuff in there, and it's just nonsense. That way he acted like that. It was just like, I don't know. He thinks we're voting with paper slips, I guess, or something. I don't know what I'm sure y'all talking about tariffs, but I'm not getting. They're not good. And Trump wouldn't have sense enough to implement them anyway. I mean, he about destroyed our soybean family farmers here. And really, they don't even know that. They don't even understand that, because most of them vote for him. And he's the one that damn near put him out of business. And All right. Well, thank y'all for coming. I think Joe's going to stream, so I better shut the hell up and get over there. Star Song, Beamsy, thank y'all for coming. Let's see, Sanji and PC, I love you. And Trees and Al Trucker. And did I forget anybody? Pinworm. I forgot Pinworm. Pinworm. And if I forgot anybody, I'm going to feel so bad because I'm not saying their name. But I think that's it. I think so. So thank y'all for coming, and go to Joe. Go see Joe. He's gonna come on at 6:30, I think, or something like it, 5:30 my time. So he may be on right now already, actually. All right, thanks.